بالله من الشيطان الرجيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد. As you guys can see, I'm promoting Fiji water. I think it's the best water being sold right now in the market. Before we start the class, just want to make an announcement that we're in the preparation to start promoting our Umrah package for March. And so everyone who didn't get a chance to make Umrah with us last year can hopefully make Umrah with us this year in 2018 coming, inshallah. And if you ask anyone who was able to come last year, it was amazing by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But this year we're, in addition to myself being the group leader and the guide of the group, we're going to also have bi'idhnillahi ta'ala some of the brothers at Thamarat, the brother Imam Khalil Carter, and the Shaykhuna Al-Faruq Post, and also have some of the mashayikh visit us while we're in Mecca and Medina, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So look forward to the flyer that's coming out soon, inshallah ta'ala. I hope everyone will be able to participate with us this year coming. Today we're going to take hadith number Thalith wa Arba'un, the 43rd hadith. Bifadlillah Azza wa Jal, we reached the 43rd hadith. And what many people didn't realize, even after I said it multiple times, that we're taking these hadith, this collection of hadith from the book Jawami al-Kalim. And this is the collection of Ibn Rajab, not the collection of hadith by Imam Nawawi, which it is pretty much the same thing. Imam Nawawi collected 42 hadith. He collected 42 hadith, and he considered that the religion was based upon these ahadith, and he named his book 40 hadith. Even though it is 42 hadith, he named it 40 hadith of Imam Nawawi, and most of the people know it by that. Imam Ibn Rajab, he added 8 ahadith to that 42 hadith, and this is what we got. So some of the people say, we all studied 40 hadith. We all studied 40 hadith. They don't want to study 40 hadith. Na'udhu billahi min dhalik. And I try to reiterate throughout the class that these ahadith, the Imam Nawawi, Imam Ibn Salah, Imam Ibn Rajab, and other than them consider that all of the religion of Islam is based on these ahadith. All the religion of Islam are based on these ahadith. So no matter how small the hadith is or how big the hadith is, there are great benefits in these ahadith. And we just to get off topic for a little bit before we go into the hadith, like the hadith, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. None of you truly believe until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself. How many times we heard this hadith, and we attempt to be the best Muslim to our brother possible, but we fall short in something simple as common courtesy. Common courtesy. The whole hadith is based upon common courtesy. We fall short of that, right? So this is why we have to keep studying these ahadith to find out how we can apply these ahadith in our lives. Tayyib. Today we're going to take the 43rd hadith. The 43rd hadith is the first hadith that is not in the collection of Imam Nawawi. It is not in the collection of Imam Nawawi. This is the first hadith that is additional to the 42 hadith that Imam Ibn Rajab brought. This is the first of those. عن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ألحقوا الفرائض بأهلها فما أبقت الفرائض فالأولى رجل ذكر. And the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said in this hadith, he said, give everyone his right, or give the faridah to the one who is deserving of it. to the proper person. And he said, if anything is left over, then give it to, and he mentions here, he says, رَجُلٌ ذَكَرٌ. And he said, give it to the male. We're going to cover this hadith because this hadith is very detrimental to the humanitarian understanding of the West and the East, where many of them say that in Islam they are not fair, they are oppressive to the woman, they are oppressive to the elderly, they are oppressive to the non-Muslim, and so on. Right? So first and foremost, we need to understand the hadith is that they have ikhtilaf on what the meaning of farida or fara'id means here. We're going to take the most common and the most popular meaning of this kalima, this word, which means that the fara'id, it means the inheritance. To give the inheritance to its proper person. The inheritance to its proper person. المراد بأهل الفرائض في قوله تعالى في قوله رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, and he says that the meaning of the people who are deserving of the inheritance, الحقوا فرائض بأهلها, وقوله صلى الله عليه وسلم أقسموا المال بين أهل الفرائض. He says, the Shaykh explains the first the statement with another statement of the Prophet ﷺ, divide the wealth to its proper people. Divide the wealth to its proper people. What wealth are they talking about? They're talking about the inheritance. They're talking about the inheritance. When someone dies, who does his money go to? Where does his money go to? Does he have a choice in the matter? He says, I want to give 50% of my money to my wife, or 100% of my wealth to my son. And he has many sons, but he only gives it to one son, or he only gives it to one daughter, or he gives all of his wealth to his wife. Is this permissible in Islam? La, it's not permissible in Islam. And he says, أقسم المال بين أهل الفرائض جملة من سماه الله في كتابه من أهل المواريث من ذوي الفروض والعصبات كلهم. And then he goes on to mention, he says, and these people we're talking about, the Ahl al-Fara'id, the people who we're talking about here, the people who are worthy of receiving this wealth, they're the people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has specified in His glorious book. Like where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَرِيدَةً مِّنَ اللَّهِ. He says, an obligation from Allah. So there it answers the question. Can a person give wealth to a person who is not befitting? Can he leave wealth to someone who is not befitting of receiving? Or can someone take from the wealth of the person who passed away who is not befitting? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لِلرِّجَالُ نَصِيبٌ مِّمَّا تَرَكَ الْوَالِدَانِ وَالْأَقْرَبُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and for the man is a percentage of that which he left forth or left behind for his parents and his close relatives. وَلِلنِّسَاءَ نَصِيبٌ مِّمَّا تَرَكَ الْوَالِدَانِ وَالْأَقْرَبُونَ مِمَّا قَلَّ مِنْهُ أَوْ كَثُرَ نَصِيبًا مَفْرُوضًا. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues, says, and for the woman, see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is defining who receives this wealth. He says here, now, and for the woman is a percentage of what is left behind. It's percentages of what is left behind for her, for the parents, and for the children or offspring, for the relatives, and for whatever it is, whether it be what is left behind as something small or something left behind that is great in number. Bilal. Yeah, we lower, please. طيب. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in another ayah, يُوصِيكُمُ اللَّهُ فِي أَوْلَادِكُمْ لِلذَّكْرِ مِثْلُ حَظِّ الْأُنْثَيَيْنِ. And He says, Allah advises you Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala advises you. And here it doesn't mean advises you. It means Allah commands you to give that for the child, the male child, that which the female child gets, that which the two of the female child gets. Right? And this is where some of the Orientalists try to attack Islam. They try to say, well, why does the male get a whole share and the female gets half of a share? Why does he get 2 of what she gets? The reason is that the male child is going to be the supporter of a household. He has a responsibility. He's the supporter of a household. And this shows how we're supposed to should honor our men, honor our youth. He's going to be the backbone of the household financially. Whereas with the female, when she gets married, her husband is obliged for him to take care of her. See the difference? So there's no injustice there. What's the reality is that it's actually fair. One of the main benefits of this hadith is that it emphasizes the obligation of giving everyone their rights. Each and every person, whether he's a non-Muslim or Muslim, he gets rights. When it comes to the inheritance, this is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who decreed, and He's the one who has written for what it will be. What we see is that in many religious affairs, there is ikhtilaf. There's differences of opinion between the scholars and the different schools of thought. What are the different schools of thoughts that are available? That are from Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. What are the different schools of thoughts?
You have Hanifi,
Imam Abu Hanifa,
Hanbali,
Imam Ahmed ibn Hanbal, Imam Malik, Barakallahu Feek. One more, Imam al-Shafi'i. Then we have Dhahri Madhab, Imam Abu tell us his turn. Sister,
you have a class.
Also you have Abu Dawud al-Dhahri, who's also from the scholars of Ahl Sunnah. And we have some of the scholars that there is known as Ahl Hadeeth, the scholars, collection of scholars that follow the Hadeeth, and they may differ with regards to how to apply fiqh principles. But all of them are the scholars of Ahl Sunnah. So we may find some of these scholars differing with some issues. Allah has left those issues flexible. The issues where a scholar or a school of thought can differ is by the leniency of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to flexibility with those issues. We're going to come back to this in a second. But with regards to where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala defines and that which is considered to be the usul of the religion, the foundations of the religion, it is not permissible for any scholar to have a difference of opinion with those issues. It's not permissible. On those issues, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it extremely clear. Example, how many times do we pray in a day? 5 times a day. 5 times a day. What if a scholar comes to you, and he says, you only have to pray 3 times a day? We say, batil. We say, he's not from Ahl Sunnah. He's not from the people of the Sunnah. 100% incorrect. Or a scholar says, or a school of thought tries to come with the fasting of Ramadan in the month of December. You don't have to fast Ramadan in the month of Ramadan. The month of Ramadan, the 30 days of Ramadan or the 29 days of Ramadan, you fast in the month of December because it's the shortest. It's the month that has the shortest sun hours. He said you only fast in December. We accept this? No, we reject it. Or a person who says we can make Hajj in Bangladesh, or we can make Hajj in Iran. Or you know what? Mecca's too far away. It's too far away. It costs too much money. We can make Hajj in Brooklyn. We reject this. because none of the scholars of Ahl Sunnah, none of the Sahaba, none of the schools of thoughts of Ahl Sunnah had any differences in these issues. And even if they came with differences, we reject their difference because it is clear in the Quran. It's clear in the Quran. Aside of that, what if a person said, where is the proper place to put your hands while you pray? Do you put it under your belly button? Do you put it on your belly button? Do you put it on your chest line? These are all issues, masail ikhtilafiyya. These are all issues that the scholars, they differed in. It's permissible to take opinion from amongst the opinions in these issues that you see to be the strongest of opinion, that is most convincing to you. Or a person says, how many times do we call the adhan for Salatul Jumu'ah? There's a difference of opinion in it. Some say 2, some say 1. Overall, it's not an issue that takes you out of the da'irat al-sunniyya, that takes you out of being Sunni, or takes you out of Islam. No. The scholars, they differ on it. Or do you move your finger when you make when you make the tashahhud or not? Do you leave it straight or do you move your finger? These are issues that the scholars, they differed in. It is okay. If a person didn't move his finger, it is not a big issue. But with regards to the issues, al-kubra, masail al-kubra, the big issues in the religion, that which the religion is based on, that which the religion is founded upon, it is not permissible for anyone, for any Muslim to come and say, you know, you don't really have to make that last rak'ah in Salat al-Asr. It's okay. Just make 3. It's all right. No. In those issues, it is not permissible to have any type of differences of opinion. Shaykh goes on to mention, he says, أما قوله وللأولى الرجل ذكر, and he says, and if, after mentioning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if there is anything left over, whether it be a large amount or small amount, then the one who is more preferable to receive it is the male. So the Shaykh goes on to mention, he says, مع أن الرجل لا يكون إلا ذكر. He said that even though there's no مع أن الرجل لا يكون إلا ذكر. He said, even though that it is not permissible for a person to be considered a rajul except that he's a man. فالجواب, he says, what the understanding is here, الجواب الصحيح, what the understanding is here, أنه قد يطلق الرجل ويراد به شخص. And he says, even though it is mentioned as rajul, as that which is known in the Arabic language as man, the intention here, the purpose here, the intent here is a person. A person. كقوله من جدل ماله عند رجل من وجد ماله عند رجل قد أفلس ولا فرق بين أن يجده عند رجل أو امرأة. And he goes on to say, he says, likewise, if a person were to say, whoever has his wealth in the hands of a man, then verily he is bankrupt, right? Because you can't have access to your wealth, right? Here it is not mentioning, it does not mean a man as that which is صاحب اللحية, the person who has a beard. But what it means is a person who has your money causes you to be bankrupt, whether it's a male or a female. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam wasn't giving precedence to the man, but whoever is deserving after the wealth is distributed, then he gets that, or he or she gets that portion. هل لديكم سؤالا? Does anyone have any questions?